Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Down in the Country podcast. I'm your host, Dylan Reed, and today we are joined by Styles, who's another up and coming country music artist. Thank you so much for your time today, Styles.
Hey man, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Same here. And I just wanted to also congratulate you on your third child due in December. So you have two girls, and it'll be your first boy.
Yeah, we're excited. We're adding another little rascal to the fleet over here, so should be good.
Future hunter, too, as well.
I'm hoping.
How's mom doing?
Oh, she's doing good, man. It's hard being pregnant and having two little ones under 4 years old, so it's crazy. But for the most part, she's hanging in there. She's doing good.
Yeah, I don't know how my mom did it with four kids. So,
Wow,
props to her.
crazy.
Sure is. And so, just to get into it, so you describe yourself as a daughter raising, son raising, pending, thrill seeking, arrow slinging, country music picking, deer eating man from no name Ville, Ohio. So, how have you been able to apply that to your identity as a country music artist while balancing your voice as well as your lyrics?
Well, what's funny is my team has helped me make that mission statement or whatever, which is kind of funny. And I was like, heck yeah, I can roll with that, And so I feel like, um, you know, when I'm not playing music or writing songs, I'm in the woods. I'm an avid outdoorsman, and I'm with my family and stuff like that. So I feel like in that statement, it's like, yeah, I'm either helping out around the house and uh, being with the family, playing or writing music, and or hanging from a tree somewhere and waiting on a big buck or hiking a mountain for a bear or a moose or whatever.
And how confident do you feel kind of with hunting season coming up?
Well, I feel confident. I feel pretty confident. We already have a off to a good start. My another artist buddy of mine, his name's Stevie. He's in a band called Arbo, and I took him out for the Tennessee velvet season, and I helped him harvest his first deer. We're going to be posting a 90-second reel of that hunt, of him harvesting his first buck, and it's a pretty good deer. One of my spots here in Tennessee, and so I would like to say, the season's already off to a great start. We got a bunch of other big bucks on camera, and I leave for my elk hunt in September, middle of September area, uh, and I'm hoping that it's going to be a good year.
Well, good wishes to you in the hunting season.
Oh,
And so going back to your music, so your music videos, a man that didn't know nothing, and she's that kind of beautiful. So it showcases people in your life who are important to you, but each video also has different moods. So I'm just curious, like, what was the production process like for each of those videos, and what were your inspirations?
yeah. So with a man that didn't know nothing, the inspiration was to kind of showcase my childhood, what I grew up doing, and what I learned from my dad. And then it kind of evolved to, shows my dad and myself later down the road where, I'm with my first child, River, and that was more of a nostalgic style video. And then for uh, she's that kind of beautiful, a song I wrote for my wedding, and that video was actually just totally off the cuff. We wanted to capture real raw moment of what happened at our wedding. Not only that, something we could pass down to our kids one day and give to them, because they were not able to. They're not that able to be at the wedding. We had them after, but it was one of the things where everybody at the wedding thought we were just taking photos and we were really shooting a music video, so that was pretty cool.
Awesome. And and you can watch both music videos on YouTube too as well.
Yep, they're all on YouTube, and I think even some of them are on. I think both of those are on Vivo as well.
Awesome. And I'm just saying this to the listeners. Highly recommend you watching both too as well. They're very, very emotionally moving. Um,
Oh,
and specifically, another question that I was very curious about, like, what did you want the viewer of these videos to know about, these individuals, specifically your father as well as your wife?
Well, they both played big parts in my life, and I grew up. I learned a lot of uh, everything that I grew up hunting and fishing and all the stuff from the outdoors. I learned from my old man, and my wife. As far as my musical journey, she's been a rock in my life for being here. I mean, we've been together since I moved to Nashville. I mean, we met in my hometown and stuff. So, um, they've both been uh, a huge part of my musical journey. But just huge people in my life.
Hmm. And specifically your 2024 album, Bunch of Songs. So it opens with Overthinking, and then it closes with Mud on Them Boots, and then there's various songs in between that kind of showcase different emotions. Could you provide kind of an introduction to Overthinking?
Yeah. So, well, first off, I'd like to, tell you about a bunch of songs that my new record that's out is actually an EP that's called Styles, and it's 6 songs. That's my new project. But I had packaged basically all the music that you're going to hear on a bunch of songs.
Uh huh.
It is all the music that I've just created over the years being here in Nashville. So none of that stuff's really new. I mean, it's funny. Mud on Them Boots is off of my first record I ever did. And Overthinking was a song that I wrote with Philip Bowen. He was on America's Got Talent, and some other, and Dave Turnbull and James Kelly. We had wrote this song, and Philip's an amazing fiddle player, and we had wrote this song, that song Overthinking. And I eventually was like, man, I think we should, um, just put it out. I think it needs to live out there. So that was cool, and it was so again that a record of a bunch of songs is kind of that's what it is. It's a bunch of songs from different parts of the timeline while I've been here in town. But most recently, I guess the projects, what I have going on right now, my new EP, the Styles EP, the new
Hmm.
style. It's got Ain't Done Yet, No Truck, No Girl, No Girl. That's what I'm super excited about at the moment. And I'm actually, give people a little bit of information here in October. Uh, I got a new project called God's Grocery for Aisle One coming out, and I am just I can't wait for I've been working so hard on this. I can't wait for everybody to hear it. I got a bunch of amazing features on it, like really cool artists featuring on this record. It's 7 songs, and it's I'm super pumped. I think people are gonna like it.
Awesome. And specifically, the bunch of songs. If you don't mind me asking, is there a reason why you structured that particular album with, kind of what you were saying, your experiences in Nashville, but was there a reason why you basically structured it with starting with Overthinking first and then ending with Mud on Them Boots, or was it just kind of just a
No,
mishmash?
I come up with a bunch of songs. I just put them all in a, because Spotify can get so cluttered on there. It gets hard for people to find all this stuff.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
instead of having just like, I put out a lot of music. So like having a bunch of singles or whatever on there, I just package them into a nice, concise place where people can get a plethora of different stuff that I've done over the years. And if they want a deep dive, and then if they want to know what's current, they can see the singles that I have out, and the Styles EP, and God's Grocery coming in
Awesome.
October.
Awesome. And so yeah, so my and that leads into my next question quite nicely. So you released an EP titled Styles. Um, it opens with Ain't Done Yet and then closes with Something Worth Saying. Could you just provide an introduction on Ain't Done Yet?
Yeah. So Ain't Done Yet is a song. It's a love song. It's about the 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 artist in the song, the singer being myself, singing about things in life that you check boxes on. You go through and you do all these things that you've done in your life, and you. But the one thing that you're not done doing is loving the person you love.
Hmm. And do you mind if we play a little clip of that?
Oh, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
house, a dog, a gold band on my hand. I got a truck that still ain't broke down on me yet. Going down the list as I look around and start thinking about how I'm blessed and I lose count. I've ran enough, run miles to take me to the moon and back. I'm drinking enough ice cold beer to feel every lake on the map. And I swear I've seen heaven's gates painted in the sunset. Yeah, I've checked about every box you could ever hope to check. But when it comes to loving you, I ain't done yet. I ain't done, I ain't done, I ain't done yet. I ain't done, I ain't done, I ain't done yet.
So, well, the first time I listened to that song, Styles, I really loved the kind of that guitar plucking. So I was like, oh, is it going to be like a soft song? And then you kind of really come in, with kind of with that hard guitar and with the drums on top of that.
Yeah, it keeps it moving, and it's nice that that palm muted thing keeps it driving.
Mm-hmm. And specifically with that song in particular, like what was the creative process like? So everything from kind of the writing to the cutting process for Ain't Done Yet.
I mean, Carlo Colasaco, one of the producers. So Phil Billy or Phil O'Donnell and Carlo Colasaco produce my projects, and I wrote that with me, Brad Clausen, and Carlo. It was one of those songs that just kind of fell out in the room, and we felt great about it, and we all could relate to all the subject matter that we were throwing around in the writing room. Then Carlo is a absolute wizard with building out basically demos and stuff like that. And we had taken the demo and had Fibly had taken it and done a bunch of pedal steel that you hear in there, had some other session players in Nashville on it, and then turn around and we blended it together, and it just felt right. So we knew it was at that moment where we wanted to make it one of the drivers on the project. So.
And what I really like about that song is when with your vocals, just kind of you explaining the story. I've got some land, a house, a dog. Like it's like okay, like it made the subject matter that you added into the song made it very easy to follow.
Yeah, that's the goal. We're hoping that we're writing these songs, we're hoping that people can relate, and I feel like we're touching on subject matter that most people can relate to.
Hmm. Yeah, and it's I really love kind of how the naming of that Ain't Done Yet, meaning that you still have a lot in this life, not just as an artist, but also as a person to accomplish as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um, and then the other song that I really wanted to highlight too as well was Something Worth Saying. Could you just provide similarly like an introduction to that song and kind of what it means to you as an artist?
Yeah, that song, I think, I was just talking to my team yesterday about this song. It wasn't a driver off of the project, but I think it's going to be, we've kind of all agreed that we're going to kind of make it like the third driver on the project. Uh, do a music video for it of some sort, because I wrote the song with my friend Rachel Thibodeau. She wrote Good Directions. And my cousin Michaela, this was one of the first songs she's ever been a part of writing in Nashville. She had come down, and we were trying to write some music for her project. And we ended up writing the song. And, we were talking, it started out by talking about, like, when I asked her, like, as an artist, what do you want to say? And she said, well, I want to say something, I want to say something. I said, I think I have a title that might fit what you're saying. I said, say something worth saying, maybe say something worth saying. I don't know if that, well, then we ended up kind of twisting around where it's like, well, what if we use all the different phrases of like if you want to say something to somebody, make it something worth saying. Like, what's the point of putting negativity out there in the world? It takes more energy to be negative than positive. Like they say, it takes more muscles to frown than smile. So we kind of took that and ran with it. And we just felt like we captured the magic in the room. I know Rachel Thibodeau was creating this, beautiful melody on the C7 at Warner Brothers where we had wrote it, and she started playing this awesome melody on the piano, and then it just kind of it put a little bit of magic in the room. We kind of felt that magic stirring
Hmm.
around, started picking out different things, and by the end of it, we knew like, wow, this song's pretty heavy. This song could really impact a lot of people in a great way. You never know when somebody needs a song like that. It's like that could start a movement. I was like, that's pretty cool. So, anyways, I had put it in the link of songs to send over to my team to helping me pick out what the record was going to be. And many, many people that was in their top 3 songs. So we knew right away that that had to be on the record.
You mind if we also play a little clip and kind of showcase the magic to the listeners too as well?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
A bunch of spaces mixed with 26 letters. A million combinations that we can put together. Words that make you hear, make you feel like you're breaking. Say something worth saying. Like I love you, I'll be there. I'm all in, just say when. Thank you, I miss you, and y'all come back again. Yeah, be the friend that's less talking, a lot more praying. Say something worth saying. Be a light in someone's darkest hour. The things you say can have a way to work like a superpower. 'Cause when it comes to someone's day, yeah, you could be the one that makes it. So say something worth saying. Like you got this, I got you. So
That's totally, the first time I heard that song, I was like, that was, totally different style from Ain't Done Yet. Um, you know, I don't mean to say this, just because you're on, but it's like everyone did a fantastic job on that, from like the guitar, the drums, the lyrics, the vocals. Like, that was a very well done song.
Yeah, and I appreciate that, and I do. I think it's a different flavor of ice cream.
Uh-huh.
Kind of putting that kind of sounds kind of funny, but like when listening to, you're digesting this music. If you listen to this 6 pack of songs, it's a different style of like some of the other stuff on there, and
Mhm.
I do believe that, and we get that absolutely do get that reaction all over the place. Um, like wherever we play this, we play it at listening room, on the internet. I mean, exactly what you're saying. I think this song has some impact. I think it's a good one.
Mhm. And similarly, kind of with Ain't Done Yet, like, kind of what was that creative process like for everything from like the writing to the cutting process when it for this particular EP?
Well, like, we spend years writing these songs. They're not all written at one spot, or, you know, we're constantly writing every year. Like you're writing. I mean, I write full time for Warner Brothers, and as the songs go basically into your portal, and then you decide you're gonna put together a project. You start picking from all those songs. So it really came down to picking out my favorite 20 songs, and then sending them around to my team and everybody, and taking a tally sheet and taking votes of who likes what, and then just what was starting out with the first sending them the first 20 songs
Hmm.
to. I knew out the gate I liked all 20 of those songs. I could relate to all the songs. And as an artist, I would put any of those out. I
Hmm.
just wanted help picking the best ones.
So on the EP, so there are six tracks. I just out of curiosity, like how many for this particular EP did you originally record, and then how many did you kind of cut out and then decide on that 6?
Well, we had about 20.
We had it. Okay. Wow. 20 to 6. That's a lot of cutting.
Hard. It's hard, but you know, every week we're recording new and more songs. I'm already working on my record for 2025 is where I'm at now as far as the writing and what I'm recording now. You know, there's just different layers of, you know, stuff that we're promoting, you know, social media stuff, what we're playing on the road, and then what we're writing and creating in town in the writers' rooms and stuff. And also, you know, always got to be ahead of it because it's just there's a lot of gears moving, you know.
Mm-hmm. No, definitely. And so the next track that I really wanted to talk about, and you know, I think it's a question. You know, this track is a question within its no right. It's also my favorite styles. No truck, no beer, no girl. Um,
Yeah.
could you just provide kind of an introduction to this particular track and kind of what it means to you?
Oh, absolutely. I think first off, what it means to me is like it's funny because, you know, I'm a married guy, and this to me this was not a breakup song. This is a getting an argument with your girl, and she gets in your truck, takes all your shit, you know, uh, which is funny to me because it's like it truly is. Anybody that says there's not peaks and valleys in relationships, you know, or marriage or whatever, they're lying because there absolutely is. I mean, and that's why it was so true and real for me. You know, it's just to me, um, when we and how that song had come about. There was a big producer in town that we were pitching some songs for another artist, and they said, "Listen, you know, this artist has done everything under the sun. Uh, we need no truck, no beer, no girl. Give us something different." So we had wrote, well, let's write that. No truck, no beer, no girl. Ended up writing it, and it turned into this up tempo driver. We had wrote a whole different version of this, and then Brad Clausen. It was me, Carlo, James Slater. We had wrote a whole nother version. Then we brought Brad in and rewrote the whole song, and we took another swing at it, and then we felt like we really nailed it. And for me, it was like that song is so driving. It's an up tempo, but it's got like a negative. I guess it's a negative plot twist in it. It's not a good situation the guy's in the song, but it was making me laugh because it's like that is totally something I could see my wife doing to me at some point in my life. So
That's
I was like,
that's
yeah. Everybody kind of felt like what you said. They're like, wow, this song is like a lot of people don't even like when they're listening to it. It doesn't. It makes you happy, and it doesn't even. It's not even. You're not even thinking that it's like a negative thing that's going on.
yeah. Well, and one of the things that I when I was, and I've listened to the song multiple times. Like, were you trying at the time? Were you trying to create kind of a track that was kind of the antithesis to country music? Because usually it's about a truck, it's about a beer, and it's about a girl.
Well, see that title, yeah, yeah. I've heard people. It's funny because they said how I thought this was going to be written, and that was how the first way we wrote it. Like, basically, what's a country boy going to do living in a world with no truck, no beer, no girl? That was the angle. That was the first angle, and then we're like, okay, well, that's probably like what most people would think. It's like, well, that's country music in a nutshell, right? Well,
Hmm.
that's when we had this new angle. It was kind of a breath of fresh air.
Mm-hmm.
Because people
Wow.
go, they go, oh, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah. Well, the first time I listened to it, I wasn't expecting for it to
Oh,
be such an up tempo song. I'll be the first to admit.
sorry.
Yeah. Do you mind if we play a clip of that song too as well?
There we go. Sorry, I had a call coming in. I just put it on do not disturb. I just realized that. Uh, sorry, I cut out there. What'd you say?
Uh, do you mind if we play a track or excuse me, a clip of No Truck, No Beer, No Girl?
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Awesome. Thanks.
Told her I was headed home. Tell the boys call my phone and I stop for a drink. Yeah, one turn to four, turn to a dozen chords, riding shotgun home with me. She was waiting on the porch, and we had it out. Took the keys to my Ford, and she pedaled down. It was a midnight taillight goodbye, getting real gone in a cloud of smoke. Took down Rocky Mountain blues, broken work boots, and my brand new fishing hole. She took my lucky fast pro hat, I stand 12 back and Friday night wrecked my world. I got no truck, no beer, no girl, no truck, no beer, no girl.
So I will say, looking at that video reel for that song on, it looks like, I don't know whose truck it was, but it looks like, you know, those old like 1990s trucks that have what is, I call it just the bench seats, where you have like the driver's seat, you have like a middle seat, and then you have a front seat, and that's all you have. You don't have any backs. Is that kind of the truck that that was in that video reel?
Well, believe it or not, it was a we were in Utah playing a show, and that was just the rental truck from the airport.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
I was gonna say,
we were out in Utah, and we're like, we have some downtime in between the show, the show day, and I had wanted to do a content day out there because Utah is just so beautiful, and yeah, we were like, dude, well, we got a truck, let's shoot some film. And it's funny, yeah, a lot of people have said that. They're like, yeah, the video guy did a good job. Like, it's like kind of a little bit of different content than the normal. It's kind of like almost purposely jacked up a little bit. You know what I mean?
yeah, because it looks like it's been through some better days, just looking at it.
Yeah, yeah.
No, but I like that though, because it kind of adds character and effect to to the song too as well.
And you're talking about the Instagram stuff, or are you talking
Or
about
the Spotify video reel?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about some of the reels on Instagram. No, the one on Spotify. Yeah, that was just some content we had. So
Awesome. No, that's my favorite song on that EP. So no truck, no beer, no girl. Very simple, very easy to understand. It's also a great workout song. I don't know if anyone's told you that, but
no, it's up tempo. Yeah, it's driving, man. It's cool.
So, but yeah, and then just a little bit. The next question I did have. So we talked earlier in the interview that you're a hunter, and just looking at your website, looking at the merchandise, the phrase that really struck out to me was God's grocery store. And it looks like on your hat, you kind of have that logo too as well. Like, what is God's grocery store? Like, what does that mean to you?
Well, again, October 18th, my God's Grocery Store Aisle 1 record is coming out. God's Grocery Store is, how to give a little background on how it started is, I always found myself, every time I was filming any sort of hunting content or outdoor content, I had always found myself saying, like, man, as we're doing videos, somebody said, I just want to, so we're just out here in God's Grocery Store trying to get it done. And because, I'm huge on taking it from field to table, and so I was saying that so much that I had this idea in my head of the deer in the shopping cart, deer in the grocery buggy, and my wife does graphic design stuff. She designed it up for me. I told her like what I wanted. She put it together, and I was like, "That's it. That's exactly what I'm seeing. I love that." And I put it on some T-shirts and hats just for myself to rock. And I had created a YouTube channel called God's Grocery Store, where I was just putting all my hunting and fishing content because at the time, this was years ago, I didn't think I should blend it so hard with my music. Well, I was writing with Hall of Fame songwriter Casey Beathard, and he had seen the logo on my phone. He goes, "What is that?" I said, "That's God's Grocery Store." And he goes, "Why don't we write that?" And I was like, "Dude, all right, let's do it." Well, we wrote God's Grocery Store, and just like that, it turned into this time where I was like, I finally figured out what it is that I'm supposed to do with the music stuff. You know what I mean? Like I'll have my regular style stuff that I'll do, like more commercial style music, like No Truck Ain't Done Yet. But every single fall, because the outdoors has been such a huge part of my life, it's woven through my DNA, the outdoors, hunting and fishing and bringing stuff from field to table. And that's when I was like, okay, I embarked on the mission where I was going to go after the God's Grocery Store Aisle 1, which is, a batch of songs with a bunch of features on it. Imagine trying to think other projects out there like that do that, where there's like a bunch of features on it, maybe like Hardy's Hicks tape, I guess. Imagine that, but a little more, or all outdoor driven, a little more homesteader, hunting, fishing, driven songs. And I plan on every single fall from here on out, I'm going to do another aisle, aisle 1, aisle 2, aisle 3, aisle 4. Every single fall, people can look forward to another aisle at God's Grocery Store. Plan to do some cool merch around it. You can get all the God's Grocery Store merch on my site right now. I know this fall we plan on doing, I have one somewhere around here. I have the God's Grocery Store flag, flying the God's Grocery Store flag. We fly it every time we have a harvest. If we're out there in the deer woods or wherever we get a big buck down, or, like Stevie with his first deer, like I was talking about before for Tennessee Velvet, I was holding the God's Grocery Store flag behind him. And it's just turned into this thing where it's like, man, it is truly who I am and what I believe in. And everywhere we go, somebody asks, what is that logo? Like, where do I get that hat? Where do I get that shirt? And I was like, well, we like to call that the Country Boys Nike. That is God's store. And it's hilarious. So yeah, the merch, I mean, we've been selling a lot of the merch. I got some laying right here that I got to ship out. This is just like this is the snapback, and they're pretty cool. I mean, it's got its own little thing. So
yeah, and it looks like it's the same hat that you're wearing too, as well.
yep. Except this is I think the 5 or 7 panel camo, and that I just got those in. Those are about to launch on the website. I'm about to put those up. I got a couple things for about to put out for aisle 1 here. So
awesome. No, but I really love your hat. So might have to buy one. So
yeah, we're gonna have to get you hooked up, man.
But yeah, so I mean, so you've talked about your music, in this interview. Is there anything else specifically about your music or any upcoming shows or any upcoming recording sessions that you're participating in that you want the listeners to know about?
Well, just again, we got the new Styles EP out. You can find this music wherever you listen to music. The new Styles EP is out. God's Grocery Store Aisle 1 is coming out October 18th. Don't forget to pre-save it. Pre-save it. You're gonna love all the features on it. There's a bunch of God's Grocery Store merchandise on my website. You can find that in my link tree on my Instagram bio. Just click the link tree, go to website, go to merch, and there's a lot of stuff on there that you can pick from. Try to keep up to date on my socials. We're very active on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Try to keep everybody up to date on there. And then I do have another cool piece of content coming this fall based around God's Grocery Store. I got this right here. I think this is cool. So, and I haven't really talked about this much. October 9th, I'm going to release a video. This is that'll be 1 year on the nose because it took so long to get this information all figured out. But so I recently harvested the new state record. This is from the state of Maine, the new state record moose, with a crossbow, and it broke the archery state record. And they got a banquet in April. We're all excited about it, and talk about a cool accolade for the launch of God's Grocery Store Aisle 1. That a moose is a big animal. That fed a lot of us. It was an amazing hunt. The story behind the hunt is pretty incredible. Those tags are draw only, and the guy that I got to be on the tag with, he had cancer. He's no longer with us, but got a hunt of a lifetime. Shared that opportunity with me, and I got some sponsors and people to help cover the cost. That was a big thing for him that he was battling because of his cancer and stuff. And we got to take him on his last hunt, and it was the hunt he had been trying to get his whole life, which was a Maine bull moose tag. Again, it's lottery only, so getting that accolade is cool. We got that coming up October 9th. That video is going to launch, and teamed up with my friends at Country Outdoors to bring that out to the world. So yeah, overall we got new music, and we got some really awesome content based around the fall and the holiday season. And in my current record out right now, Styles, check that out. Go stream it. I hope you all like it. We love y'all's feedback. Don't forget to drop comments on the socials if you swing by the social platforms. And yeah, that's pretty much a wrap, man.
Yeah, awesome. And I did have a question about that hunt. How big was the moose, and like weight wise, and like how was that entire, like, did you get the moose in one shot, or did it take you multiple shots?
One arrow. There's film footage of that. We got one. I harvested it with a 10-point crossbow. One arrow took it down. I put a perfect shot on it, where it was able to, I hit the vitals, of the moose, which is the key ticket to putting down an animal, harvesting an animal. And the moose scored 185 and 185 and a half inches. And it was massive. About 1,200 pounds field dressed. It was 1,200 pounds field dressed. And it was like a Mack truck out there.
Wow.
It was huge. I got to take my dad with me on the hunt. It was awesome. We filmed the best we could. We were all hiding behind a little pine tree because we're out in a big clear cut, and bull that caliber comes in. It was on the first day of the hunt. We had passed on a smaller bull that came in. Let him go. He was just too little. We didn't. We went out there to harvest a mature bull, and we never dreamt that we would end up harvesting the new state record moose with a bow. It's crazy. So
wow. From writing songs, performing songs to breaking state records, you're building a name for yourself in multiple areas.
Well, I feel very blessed. I got a great team around me, great foundation of friends and people in town here in Nashville that are making that possible for me, and a bunch of great sponsors and people that are believing not only in the outdoor world but also in the music world. And I am just keep rolling the ball up the hill and do the best that I can every single day. It takes a lot of discipline, and it's a lot, a lot of gear spinning, like I had said before. It's a lot of time management, but we're getting it done.
Awesome. And so, just to confirm, people can listen to your stuff on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. They can go to your website for the merchandise. Is there any other place that you want people to know more about you or listen to your music on?
Yeah, you got Spotify, Apple Music, Pandora, Amazon Music, YouTube. Yeah, that's the main thing. And always going to my website and checking out the merch. We're really trying to get a bunch of these Country Boy Bling Dodge Grocery Store hats on everybody. Get a bucket on everybody. It would be cool.
Awesome. And be sure to subscribe to the Down to the Country podcast on YouTube, and don't forget to listen to the audio version of this podcast on both Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Styles, just want to say thank you so much for your time today.
Hey, thank you so much, man.
And this is Dylan Reed